What if I told you that waiting to start your music career is costing you something way more valuable than just your time, but your chance to live a life that you genuinely enjoy? I actually learned this the hard way when I lost someone very close to me, and that was the wake-up call that I needed to completely shift how I approach my life and my music. So I'm hoping that this realization could be the difference in how you approach your own music career, because honestly, you could be waiting for the perfect moment, this perfect opportunity, and you're probably going to miss out on something far more important. So for those who are new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Robert, and I've been composing for nearly 10 years, working on small indie projects here and there. I've been collaborating with some sample developers as I have grown my YouTube channel, and I'm also a tutor on the ThinkSpace Education Orchestral Composition Bootcamp, where we talk about all things sampled, mock-ups, orchestration, composition. And one of my biggest goals is just living out a music career that is actually fulfilling. But lately I've been looking back and just realizing how many mistakes I've actually made in the process of getting to this point. A lot of the time, I just felt very lost and confused about the direction that I wanted my career to go. I thought that the only way to truly succeed as a composer was if I was out in LA, I was going project to project, scoring a ton of different films. I thought that there was this criteria that had to be met that pretty much defined what a successful composer looked like. But the more that I would think about it, the more that I would realize that that just wasn't in line with who I was. That kind of career where you're always grinding, you're always looking for or just hopping on to the next project, it honestly was something that overwhelmed me. I just didn't feel any kind of connection to that path, and at the same time, I didn't really see any other alternative. And that mindset, that idea of what a composer is supposed to be doing, that is what kept me stuck. And I think what really stopped any type of true progress in my career. And honestly, this is something I would love to talk about even more in a separate video, so keep your eyes open for that one. So when I first started posting on YouTube, my big focus was on walkthroughs and review videos, tutorials, because it's what I knew. I had the sample libraries readily available to me. And I think that one of the biggest perks, one of the benefits, was that I really got to get in contact and connect with some amazing sample developers. The teams that I've been able to work with have been just incredible. And the thing is, it just felt different from the constant gig hunting. But even then, I felt lost. I was creating content on YouTube and just other social media platforms. I was focused on my weekly newsletter, and I was writing music to still focus on that creative passion. But even then, I wasn't feeling fulfilled. And then everything changed once my dad passed away. And that was a massive wake-up call for me. It made me realize I didn't want to live a life that was just me going through the motions. I didn't want to be chasing some idea of success that didn't really align with who I was. That experience made me step back and just ask myself, what was it that I was trying to build? What was it that I was actually working towards? So I started to think that the career I was looking for wasn't just about the music. It was about making sure I was aligning with my strengths, my passion, and really making sure that I was doing everything I can to feel fulfilled. And I realized that the only way to make that dream music career happen, the one that you see down the road that you're working towards, it starts with conscious decisions every single day. I had to stop waiting for that perfect moment, because the life that is going to connect with who I am, it's gonna happen today. It's not some far down the road future. It's literally something I have to be working actively towards right now. There's a quote that I really enjoy from the philosopher and writer Alan Watts, and he says that no one imagines that a symphony is supposed to improve as it goes along, or that the whole object of playing is to reach the finale. The point of music is discovered in every moment of playing and listening to it. That's how life is too. It's not about waiting for a perfect future, it's about living fully in the present, and if we spend all our time waiting for the right moment, we'll miss the symphony that's happening right now. And I absolutely love that quote. I feel like it perfectly addresses exactly how I want to live my life and my music career. And once I knew that I wanted to be more intentional with my time, I realized that waiting for some perfect moment, a point in my career, wasn't just costing me time. It was costing me the chance to live the career, the life that was aligned with who I actually was. Each day that I delayed wasn't just, another day that passes. It was literally a series of missed opportunities to live the career that I actually wanted. So if you're a composer and you're just going through the motions of what you think a music career is supposed to look like, then I don't really think you're gonna find that long-term fulfillment. Instead, you might just constantly be looking backwards and feeling like something is missing. Now, I don't bring up the loss of my dad to say, we're running out of time, everybody panic. If we live day to day and we're more intentional about how we actually live those days, then I think we are able to appreciate the time that we do have. So for me personally, I just knew that something had to change, something in my life. And that ultimately is what led me to create the Composer Strengths Explorer. And this is a quiz specifically to help composers, musicians figure out what their strengths are outside of just the music alone. And when I took it myself on a surface level, I was kind of expecting to get systems as my strengths. I love workflows, I love templates, I love organization and kind of plotting out points in my career. But what I discovered was that my core inherent strength was my passion. Passion is what's been driving me for years, not just in the music, but in my business, in the content creation on YouTube, in music education, how I want to connect with people, and really how I want to talk about my goals. So for me, it was honestly never just about the music. I had to make sure that everything that I did was able to contribute long-term, to have value, to have some sort of meaning. And this actually relates back to my most recent video about how composers can discover their why. Now I make it a point every single day to be more intentional, to be more conscious about the choices that align with my strengths. So my passion for writing music and YouTube and music education. And by no means am I perfect at this. There are always going to be days that are better than others, but I'm very actively trying to build a music career that is more reflective of who I am at my core. Earlier this year, I actually heard about this idea from Ali Abdaal where you write your own obituary. Basically, just think about what you want to be remembered for. Was the way that you approached your life meaningful? Were you able to make some sort of lasting impact on somebody? Were you remembered solely for your music or maybe something more? And I tried to quickly jot down what my own obituary might look like. And so these are the values that are important to me. Robert was someone who lived every day like it was his last. He cared about people. He loved helping other musicians find success on their own terms. He wanted to help people with their confidence while always practicing that himself. His music was a reflection of his experience that not only resonated with others, but helped them tap into their own past experiences as well. Ali says that the whole point of this exercise is to help us recognize and focus on what actually matters and let go of all the stuff that doesn't. Since I actively started aligning with my passion and my other strengths, I've been able to take on the projects that really excite me. I feel like I've been able to connect with the people who inspire me, but I've also been able to avoid that feeling of burnout that comes from doing the things that doesn't fit who you are. I feel like I'm able to look back now, and had I continued chasing a music career that isn't in line with my true strengths, I just know I would have lived a life filled with a ton of regret, just going through the motions. But now I think I'm living a career that is more in line with my passion. And that's something I know I can be proud of when I look back one day on my life, hopefully when I'm very, very old. So what about you? Are you waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity to fall into your lap? Are you chasing some dream life? The truth is, life isn't going to give you that perfect moment. It's happening right now. And don't forget that you can actually take that Composer Strengths Explorer quiz so that you can start living a life that is aligned with what matters to you most. I'll leave a link for that in the description down below. And if you want to learn more about how to build a sustainable and fulfilling music career, then you might want to check out one of these videos next. I'll see you over there, and And as always, happy composing.